Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about NoFap and relapsing, going without porn and masturbation for a long period of time, and then you blow it, right? You go 10 days and then you relapse. You might even go 150 days like my old self and then relapse. Imagine going 150 days of breaking something like climbing a mountain and then falling back to the bottom. But what is it about relapsing that is so important? Failure is important for going through recovery, for overcoming this dragon that you're contending with. Because for me, I went a decade of my life watching porn and doing this act with this strong belief that it's normal, that it's okay, that it's part of my life. It has a lot of meaning. I attach a lot of meaning to it because what you act out adds value to the action. And so by me doing it 1, 2 times a day, I was telling my unconscious mind, this is what I value. So when I started to go on this NoFap journey, I noticed that my unconscious mind was doing whatever it could to lure me back into what's familiar. Porn is what's familiar. It's part of my old personality. So I had to break apart, chip away at these pathways that have been building this porn masturbation personality within me. And this video is important. If you're not suffering from porn or masturbation addiction, then there is something that you're contending with. So this video will help you with that. And also, before I get more into this video, I released a NoFap audiobook, a 1 hour long audiobook that I constructed about my experiences with NoFap, the dopaminergic system and how that operates when you are watching porn, the effects of porn on the brain, and strategies to overcome NoFap. So I'll leave the link above and below. Go check that out. It's free and it's so useful. Okay, so you're going through this NoFap journey. You started off by watching these YouTubers talk about going a year, 2 years, 5 years, even 10 years on NoFap, and you feel, wow, how can I get there? I can't even go an hour without doing it. Well, great question. But it's really important to understand that you're seeing the outer onion of the person. I am over 3 years of NoFap, but I struggled. I failed continuously before I went on to the 3 year streak, but I'd like to call it my 3 year recovery process. And I view myself as someone who doesn't watch porn or masturbate. I view porn as like cigarettes. They're in the same category as cigarettes for me. I say with my confidence, hey, I'm not a smoker because I just firmly believe in not smoking. And well, you can ask why. Well, the reason is because I attached a lot of pain to smoking. Well, it causes cancer. It doesn't taste good. It destroys my immune health, all of these things, right? And so the more I was breaking up the pattern of my porn addiction, the more I was beginning to attach a lot of pain to why porn is bad. So you have to understand, what is it about porn that is not good for our health? What is it about porn that interferes with our social lives, our social anxiety, or even our loved ones? Why does porn affect the love lives of our partners? Why does it affect our social skills with other women or men? And so really learning about the pain behind why porn is bad is crucial. So the audiobook that I linked will help you attach that pain. But when you relapse, what happens, right? You go, say, 2-3 days without it. You're just starting out. You go 2-3 days without it and then you relapse. What happens? You feel pain. You blow it, right? It's like, oh, I can't do this. Well, no wonder. You're contending with an ancient system within you, this primal system that is older than you. So to think that you can control it and that it doesn't control you is not the right way to look at it, right? You're contending with this deep system that has been building on these patterns for such a long time. Okay, so now you feel the pain of that relapse. What do? Well, you beat yourself up, but failure is necessary because when you start to beat yourself up for it, you're now associating the act of porn and masturbation to pain. And what do we do with pain? We don't want to experience pain. So the more you fail, the more you're going to experience pain, and the less likely you're going to visit porn. And the gaps become larger, even if it doesn't seem like it. So say you watch porn every day, 2 times a day for a decade of your life. You go 3 days without it, and then you relapse. Well, then I say to you, you went 3 days without the thing that you've been programmed to do for a decade of your life every single day. That's amazing. That's unbelievable. That's an unbelievable improvement, right? And so you fail after, say, a month. The same thing. You feel the pain of the relapse, and then it makes you strive. It makes you pursue this recovery journey further. And I went 150 days once, and I relapsed. How do you think I felt? I felt horrible. That was the point where I started my 3-year, because I started to go months, like 1 month without it, relapsing, and then I would try a month and a half, relapse, then I would try 2 months, relapse. It was this up and down journey. But the thing about this journey is that the more you feel that pain when you relapse, the less likely you're going to pursue porn in the future. And that's really, really crucial. So when I relapsed after the 150 days, I felt devastated. But that motivated me to continue and push myself even more. If I could do 150 days, imagine myself going 200 days. So I first stumbled upon NoFap there was an interview on YouTube titled "Interviewing Someone Going 500 Days on NoFap." And I was like, what the heck is NoFap? And I watched this video, and the interviewer said, here's this guy who's gone 500 days without porn or masturbation. In my mind, I was like, really? This guy must be a quack. He must be an awkward dude. He must be a weird guy. I can't wait to see this guy. And then he pops on the screen. He starts talking. He's the same age as me, late 20s. And he's talking about his NoFap journey. And I'm like, this guy talks just like me. He looks like me. I can see in his eyes this confidence, this peace, this energy vibrating within him. And that shifted my whole perspective over my porn use. Because then I started to look at myself and say, wow, is porn a problem? And then you have to really ask yourself. You have to sit down and really ask yourself, how do I feel about my porn use? And be honest with yourself. How do I feel? Do I believe that this is making me feel weaker? Do I believe that this is something I need to work on? And if you ask yourself these really important questions, you're going to experience the answer, and you might not like the answer because you might like to watch porn every day. But that's the truth. So be honest with yourself. Is this really a problem for me? And that's what happened with me. I was just honest with myself. Is this a problem? And then the answer was yes. And I was like, oh, great. Now I have to pursue this challenge. So now let's get into, when you relapse, what are some of the strategies you can do? Well, first of all, before you relapse, it's really important to visualize, and if you're thinking about watching porn, visualize yourself after you watch porn and after you masturbate, what does that look like? And when I would do it, I would say, well, I blow my 100-day streak. I don't like the looks of that. I don't like the feelings of the energy drain, the shame, the guilt, whatever. And so that'll help motivate me. And you're speaking to your unconscious mind when you do that. So that's really useful. Also, before you relapse, watch your mentors. Watch the people that you admire. Watch the people that talk about why NoFap is so beneficial. So you keep making those associations between why NoFap is the proper path. Because remember that your unconscious mind will keep tugging you in the opposite direction. Change your environment. Go for a walk. Reorganize your room, because you might orgasm and watch porn in your room. So what do? No electronics in your room. Or change your environment, put your dresser over here, clean up, reorganize, minimalize your room, change things around so you start to break what's familiar to you. I used to go to the coffee shop when I would be home alone. It would be a trigger for me. So when people left the house, I would go to the coffee shop and sit there. Really useful. And then it's important to release all that built up energy. Activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest system. Things like exercise, meditation, breathing exercises, letting go techniques, walks. These things help. Getting a good 8-hour sleep help. Cold shower helps break the pattern. Distracts yourself. Really helps. And lastly, in this video, remember to reflect back on how badass you are. Reflect on how many days you were doing it before and how many days you've been going without it. 3 days. Wow, that's really cool. I can't believe I went 3 days without this thing. Wow, I can't believe I went a month without this. Keep reflecting on how badass you are, because we forget how badass we are. And especially going 150 days for me and relapsing, I forgot, right? So I have to reflect on the journey I came and how possible it is for me to get to 200 days. So remember, it's a battle against you and your own mind. Set the bar low enough. It can be daunting to hear someone talk about going 3 years without it. But remember, this is a battle against yourself. So set the bar low enough. And remember, when you relapse, what do? There's no magic pill. All you have to do is get back on the wagon and keep going. Do not let anxiety define who you are. I want to hear your comments on your NoFap journeys or any addiction journey you're going through. Leave your comment. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be one of the first to know. Namaste.